Dr. Walls and Friends on UCCN.
Keep this.
Watching Dr. Walls and Friends on UCCN.TV. There it is.
What?
When my purpose is and my passion's name, can I get through this? Can I find my way? Though the road is long and the mountain high, I will journey on, live my greatest life, yeah. Dr. Walls and Friends, 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 Dr. Walls and Friends.
Hey, it's your girl, Dr. Kathleen Walls of Dr. Walls and Friends, and I am here with new friend to my life and to the show, Dr. Marcella McCoy Deh. Did I mess your name up again?
No, I think you got it.
I got it right?
That time.
Okay,
Yes,
good,
yes.
good. How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you, thank you.
Yes, so we had a chance to meet in Ghana.
Yes.
And my cousin, Albie Walls, met you where?
At a workshop on decolonizing African theory or something.
Yes.
Something.
Yeah.
At the Institute of African Studies at the University of Ghana.
Yes. And he ended up sending me a message. He said, I met this woman, and I swear she said that she works with the university that you're affiliated with back in Philadelphia.
Yes.
And I'm going to arrange a lunch with the three of us.
Yes, and he did, and it
Yes,
was
he
wonderful.
did. Yes, it was.
Yes.
Yes, and now it has come all the way across the Atlantic.
Yes.
And here we are.
Here we are.
And you're representing Philly and you're, that's right, Philadelphia 76ers.
Hometown team. I couldn't wear Eagles because it's going
green
to clash
street,
with
yes,
the green.
yes.
Yeah. NFC champs.
Exactly, exactly. Congratulations to the Eagles. So we are excited. So now let's tell the people, so it's ironic that we live near each other.
Yes.
We know a lot of the same people, and yet we end up meeting all the way in Ghana.
In Ghana, of all places. Yeah, through a third party.
Through a third party, right. Relative who
Yeah.
I had never met before, and met him for the first time during this trip to Ghana also.
I did not know that.
Look at that.
You look so much, you two look, remember? I was
Yes.
Like, ooh, yes.
Exactly.
You look alike.
Exactly. Yeah, it was kind of
that's
funny
wonderful.
as we would go around and people would see me with him.
Yeah.
And at first it's kind of like, well, where's your wife? And then they'd be like, but y'all look
Right,
alike. Is
right.
this your sister?
Yeah.
It's like, no, y'all are cousins.
Yeah. And that's funny because a good friend of mine who I met back in 1996, we worked together, always talked about your uncle and his wife.
Wow.
He had these friends he had in Ghana. He and his family always visited. And he told me to get in touch with them when I got there. And I didn't.
Yeah.
And yet. And so we met just chit-chatting at one of the breaks at the conference.
Oh, my goodness.
And put that together. So
Wow.
Ghana is bringing a lot of us, it's brought a lot of us together.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the truth. So now let's give the people a little background. So
Sure.
growing up, where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? And how in the world did you get to Ghana?
Okay. I grew up in Philadelphia. Yeah. And I attended Philadelphia High School for Girls. Since we're filming in Philadelphia, I have to put that there.
Yes.
Class of
That's where my
231.
mother went to school.
See.
She's a Girls High girl.
Of course she is.
Yes.
Of course she is. Okay. So then I went on to Morgan State University
Okay.
in Baltimore, Maryland.
Yes.
The National Treasure. That's our moniker now.
And I told you I had a friend that was a foxy dancer.
Yeah. Yes. Our dance band, I don't even know, they dance with the band
Yes.
at the games.
Yes.
Yes, the Foxy Dancers, yes. And I did my graduate work at Bowling Green State University
Yes.
in Bowling Green, Ohio. Yes, that was a culture shock. Yes, so there I studied communication for my master's degree, and then American Culture Studies, which was an interdisciplinary degree, but my focus was ethnic studies, particularly African American folk culture, and for my PhD.
How did you come up with that topic?
Well, I was actually working at a newspaper as a journalist for full time, and I decided I wanted to go back to school to study ethnic studies because I'd taken some courses during my master's program, and they were just so, I learned so much. And as I was out as features editor, interviewing people in their homes and spending hours with them, telling me things for the record and off the record, I realized how so many, it was a black press, so many black people in that community, and they were pretty representative, I think, of other blue-collar communities, blue-collar black communities around the country, felt powerless. They felt overtaken by, industry machines as things changed, as plants left, as they used to call it when I can't remember the term, when city government develops a community and they kind of push people out.
Okay.
I can't remember the term.
Okay.
And a lot of people lost really good homes and didn't get the value for them in order to relocate at the same quality of life. So around the city, I heard these stories for about a year, and I was like, wow, there's so much in those 3 ethnic studies courses I taught that addresses some of the underlying sociological, psychological fallout of that. And I just wanted to delve in more. So I called my advisor at Bowling Green, and I was like, hey, I want to come back. I want to do a second master's in ethnic studies. He said, no. I said, well, what do you mean? Whatever do you mean? And he said, you're not going to repeat a degree. You come back here, you're going to do a PhD. If you do that, I'll find your money.
Wow.
So I said, PhD? He said, yes. I said, I hadn't planned on a PhD, and I just really hadn't thought about it. And so he said, well, think about it. You have 3 days. I had very bossy, pushy mentors, but that's what I needed.
I like that.
That's what I needed.
Yes.
I had the same thing at finishing the PhD.
Yes.
He said, you know what, don't call me back until I can address you, Dr. McCoy. And he hung up on me. It was a different advisor, but the same department.
Okay.
So I finished, and I didn't call him back until I could say, this is Dr. McCoy.
Yes.
And he said, well, very good. So I've heard. So Ohio was good to me, despite the culture shock, because that's northwestern rural Ohio. So I had been in Philadelphia and Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, you
and
went
I was
to the
plucked
polar
from
opposite.
there to the cornfields with the Klan.
Wow.
Yes, 6 feet high cornfields in August.
Oh.
And silence, like deafening silence.
Oh.
Yeah, at night.
Yes.
Yeah, so children wanted to touch your skin because they were like, why are your hands dirty?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I met some great people, but it was just a culture. It was a shock to be in an environment where not only was I not the majority, that wasn't the biggest thing, it was people had never seen someone like me in real life or had to interact on a regular basis.
Yeah.
There was a woman in my class, her name was also Marcella.
Okay.
And so we were often confused. But she was from Middle Pennsylvania, and she told me, if you were to stop for gas in my town on your way here, it would be in our newspaper.
Oh, my
I'm from the
word.
same state. So I learned a lot about regionalism by moving to Ohio. And I had spent a lot of time in the South. My parents are Southerners. And after Bowling Green, I moved to Southern Virginia for my first teaching position at Hampton University. I had to have some sweet tea.
Before you go there, I just want to take a moment. A lot of times when people hear these stories about going to these sections of the United States, they're thinking 1950s, 1940s. But unless all of this is 80 plus years old, this was in what year?
The mid-90s, 1992 through 1996.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it was, things I'd read about, and the shock wasn't that it happened. I guess the shock was that it was happening to me.
Yes. Yes.
So little things, lots of microaggressions in the supermarket with the cashier who I asked if I could use my card, and she assumed it was a different kind of card. And when I slapped a credit card on the conveyor, you know, she was
confused
affronted.
her.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, the children who thought my hands were dirty
Yes.
on one of my many summer gigs. You know, people who thought I should not have a car.
Wow.
Why do you have a car? Why wouldn't I have a car? You
Exactly.
know, like it's, you know what it
Right,
does,
it's
right?
a car.
So, yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, knowing which establishments off campus
Yes.
were welcoming.
Yes.
Not that they were unsafe, but that were welcoming.
Yes.
And it's when you walk into a space that is unwelcoming, it feels unsafe.
Yes.
I wasn't hanging out to find out.
That's right.
But I had a friend, she was white, we were in the same program. She's like, oh, we're gonna go shoot pool. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll try it. And I asked her, I was like, is this a university, you know, it's a university town.
Right.
Bowling Green is a huge university. And a lot of the businesses cater to the students, but there are some who were for the locals.
Yes.
And that was a local spot. And I felt it as soon as I walked in. And I said, Sharon, I need to go. You gonna walk me to the door? Because I could see you want to stay.
Right.
And I had to get myself out of there
Yeah.
because I didn't, yeah.
And it's so interesting because a lot of people don't realize that. Like first of all, people think it happened 50 plus years ago. They don't realize it's still happening. Even though that took place in the mid 90s, it's still happening today. And I was speaking to a South African while I was in Ghana, and I was explaining to her that a friend of mine wanted to drive through certain parts of the country. And as much as I wanted to go, and I'm saying most the United States, my safety, the thoughts of my safety would not allow me to do it. And this woman said to me, you're telling me that you do not feel safe driving in your own country in certain states. I said, yes, I do not feel safe. And she was so blown away. And she said, all because of the color of your skin? And I said, yes. Exactly. So it's real.
Yeah, the Green Book, I remember, you know, traveling to South Carolina and my parents, my father, when we would stop, he always went in first before he brought the rest of the family in. You know, to avoid, you know, making sure we would be welcome.
Yes.
Making sure we wouldn't be humiliated.
Yes.
And he was a police officer.
Wow.
And he was like, just stay, but he knew.
Exactly.
You know? We always packed, my mother fried up a whole lot of chicken. We had
Yes.
a cooler full of lemonade
Yes.
and snacks in the car, you know. But if we wanted to sit down and spread out and have a meal on the way or just use the restroom and get gas, he said, stay in the car.
Yes.
And he would go first and then say, come on, or we're going to try somewhere
Yeah.
else. And I never understood why until that movie, The Green Book, came out. And maybe earlier, my daughter, and she was in preschool, they were learning about the Green Book.
Wow.
I didn't know about it. And I was like, Green Book. And my mother said, what did that baby say?
Right.
And so my mother told me, and I said, did you all have one of these? She said, yeah, whether you had the book or not, you knew what to do.
That's right.
And I said, oh, okay. So, yeah, and even though they might not be lynching you or, you know, it's still, when you feel unsafe,
That's right.
it's a very traumatic.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And like you said, and it's that feeling that you have and the awareness and the knowing. And that's why I look at those words like microaggression and I'm like, there's nothing small about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a real
Right.
big feeling that goes with you.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll pick up in Hampton.
Okay.
Okay. We'll be back in a moment on Dr. Walls and Friends.